What's up, guys? It's the Cheapster here, and welcome back to Tuesday Tips with the Cheapster. I'm actually changing this now to Tipsy Tuesday Tips with the Cheapster, and that's because I'm going to be having a drink every time I sit down and talk with you guys to give you some advice, just about some stuff going on, some finance advice, just whatever. And today I'm having a Coors Light because I actually got this from the gas station down the street because I didn't really want to go to the grocery store, and it was really close, so I didn't have to come in contact with many people. It's also one of the cheapest beers they had there. As a cheapster, that's what I got to do is get the cheapest beer. So that's what I'm drinking today. But what I want to talk about today is some of the things you can do right now to try to better yourself during this time. I've just seen a lot of negativity just all over the place. It's in the media all over the place. I've seen it on social media. There's just so much negativity happening right now. And it's a little bit sad because, this is a bad time, but I also think there's a lot of good things that we can use this time for, and just try to spin it so that it can be useful for us, even though, some stuff is really hard and things are really different for us. And I think that's kind of where a lot of this lies. People just don't like change. When everything's changed, kind of people get just kind of flustered by it. It's just kind of hard to accept it. So I think that's what's causing a lot of the negativity. But what I want to talk about is how you can actually use this time to better yourself. Try not to get negative. Try to stay positive through this time. And I think if you're doing these things that I'm going to talk about, it'll just naturally make you more positive because you're going to be bettering yourself. So it's going to make you not feel negative anyway. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Also, this serves as a great block for, when I don't know what I'm about to say or I need a second, so that's kind of one of the purposes of me doing Tipsy Tuesdays. It's just a nice excuse to be able to drink a nice cold beer. But so let's go ahead and get into this. So right now, obviously, most of us probably have more time than ever on our hands. Hasn't changed much for me because I pretty much do YouTube and I work for Grubhub and I do an eBay store. So Grubhub's changed a little bit, but I think I'm actually about to start going back to working more of that. So it's changed some for me in the past month, but most stuff is actually, I've been a little more busy since this has all began because it kind of caused me to kind of boost my YouTube stuff, do more videos and stuff that I'm going to try to maintain after this. But I'm sure most of you guys are having more time than ever on your hands because you just either, hopefully it's not because you've lost a job, but maybe it's because you're working from home. I know some people have lost jobs and that's a tough thing. But even, if whatever boat you're in, these are going to be good tips for you to try to maintain during this time, even if you are struggling with money. Some of these actually have to do with money. So these things also, I hope, can carry over with you guys through the time so that once it's all over, that you'll be able to keep these habits and these things to be more successful and just have a better life after all this is over because you've taken some of this time that you have right now, which is just a thing that really doesn't happen much. There's not many times where life slows down, everything shuts down, and this pretty much only happens in wartime, and I guess because I can't think of much else that this happens. So this is really a strange time, but like I said, I think there's a lot of things you can do to try to focus on. So what I'm going to talk about is the 6 things that you can do now that hopefully will develop habits in you during this time so that you can better yourself for the future. So the first thing is I want to talk about relationships. Building relationships is the first thing that you can do. And it's a little bit different right now. A lot of people might be thinking, well, how can you do that? You can't see people. And I'm a person who's a very in-person kind of guy. I like to be with the people I'm with. And it's almost sometimes hard for me to focus on people when they're not actually physically in front of me. I'm really good at focusing on people in front of me, but then I'm bad at not focusing on people who aren't around me at the current moment. And there's probably other people that have that same kind of problem. But that's something that I need to work on personally. And that's something that, right now it might seem like, okay, how can you really work on your relationships when people aren't around you? But you can, because a lot of what relationships are, some of that is doing stuff together and experiencing and being able to share moments. But honestly, what builds really good relationships is conversations and just actually talking to people and hearing what's going on with them and like helping each other out with some of your struggles or, whatever. That's the kind of stuff that really builds strong relationships. And I would say, this is friends and family. Some of you might be quarantined alone right now. I am sorry for you guys because, I can't even imagine. Like, I've got my wife here, thank goodness. But if I was alone, man, this would be tough. So hopefully, if you are quarantined alone, that you are talking to people and maintaining communication with other people, because that would be a hard thing to do. But if you are with people, just spending the time to focus on them and, spending time with your family, getting back to really just knowing what's going on with them, reconnecting maybe. But yeah, also just talking to people, making sure that you're communicating, keeping communication open with friends and family. It's just always a good thing. So yeah, I think relationships are going to be the top of this list too. This list isn't in a certain order, but I think that would be probably one of the most important things during this time, because I think relationships really do hold a lot of how we feel and what's going on kind of in ourselves. Relationships are really important for that. So focus on those. Try to do what you can to talk with people. Maybe that's like big FaceTime groups or whatever. Just try to make sure that you're maintaining good relationships during this time. And then number 2 is thinking time. And this one is huge too. I know this one's really big for me because I can really get carried away with, internet, watching TV, and just lots of things that keep coming up in your life that keep you from being able to have that time to think. And this can be a really good time for you to just sit down and just do nothing. Literally just sit there, think about like what's going on in your life. And you might find, okay, well, once I spent some time thinking, I realized just so many things I'm doing that are making me unhappy or that just aren't good, that I could change, that can make my life a lot better. So it's kind of just filtering through some of those thoughts. Some people say, this is meditation. I really don't think of it as meditation for me. The way I do it is more just like filtering through my brain and trying to figure out ways to better my life, better myself. So I think that's really important because that's probably one of the things that gets pushed to the back burner the easiest, is getting time to think when life gets busy. So use that time, and also using that time to learn and read and just better yourself intellectually and just mentally, trying to find ways that you can better yourself. But mostly that thinking time, just trying to focus on that, is going to be a really big thing. And then number 3 is health. Health is a really big thing too that we kind of push to the back. That right now I know people have more time to exercise and stuff, and it is very easy to get off the exercise trail because we get so busy. I would say probably the number one reason why people stop exercising once they start is because of busy schedules. Of course, I don't know that, but I'm pretty sure that's probably what the truth is, because I know for me, almost every single time I've stopped exercising is either because I got too busy or I just kind of forgot about it because things got too busy. So I would say that this is a great time to start getting into the habit of building a workout routine and exercising regularly. Also cooking at home, because people eat out a lot. I know there's still like a lot of people are ordering from restaurants, and I do think that's good because you're helping those restaurants out. But I think probably more than ever we can start learning to cook at home, planning meals and stuff that are healthier for us. Those are just going to be huge to carry on down the road for your health. Also, a big part about health, sleeping. Right now we have more time than ever. And nobody really gets the right amount of sleep. I mean, rarely do I ever talk to people who get the correct amount of sleep because of jobs. They got to get up early. They end up staying up late with friends and stuff, and then they got to get up early. It's very hard to make sure you're maintaining the right amount of sleep. So right now is a good time to do that. Try to find ways to get all your stuff done and make sure that you can go to bed at the right time and get the amount of sleep that you need to get. That's going to be huge for you. And that sleep just contributes to so many things. Your stress level, how effective you're going to feel in your next day. Just so many things rely on that. So trying to find ways that you can start getting that sleep, because it's just something I think we do, especially in the US, where we just kind of act like sleep is nothing. It's almost like it's a game. Whoever gets the least amount of sleep, you're the winner. Like, oh, you work the hardest, you get the least sleep. But in the end, what does it matter? Like, you're only hurting yourself. So get that sleep. Make sure that you're using this time to get the proper rest that you need. So that's going to be a great thing. Number 4 is a big one for me as a Cheapster, evaluating your finances. Because right now things are lower. It could be that you've lost your job, which you need to evaluate your finances if that's happened, or you've taken a pay cut. But especially if you're somebody who actually hasn't lost their job, a lot of your expenses might have dropped now, or you're not eating out as much, you're not doing stuff, you're not traveling. So evaluating those finances, seeing, is the stuff that you're spending on really matter? Setting up a budget if you don't have one. If you do have a budget, evaluating your budget to see, is it really properly set up well, and what you want it to be. Because you might find that, you've been going out to eat maybe like 3 times a week or something, maybe even more. I know a lot of people like to order lunch or go get lunch from a restaurant every single day of the work week. And you might find now that, wow, you're saving so much money by not doing that. Now is a great time to break some of those bad habits and try to maintain some good habits with your finances. So that's going to be really helpful to you. And also find a good savings plan so that you can save more money. Maybe that means other things that you find that you can do to make more money. It could be starting businesses or something like that. Those are all going to be really helpful. Just plan. Just sit down. Make sure that you have a plan. If you're not somebody who sat down and thought about your finances, really sit down and do that, because that just carries so much stress in your life if you don't know what's happening with your finances. So take this time to do that, because now is a great time to sit down, have the time to focus on your finances. Number 5 is to finish that to-do list. Now, if you're a person who does not have a to-do list, I don't know how you don't, because I think we all have that to-do list, and a lot of it's just stuff that's just long overdue that we needed to do for so long. I actually have a list up on the wall right by my calendar over there that is a huge to-do list. Most of it's crossed out, which is good, but there's some stuff that's been on there for like a month that I need to get done. So just trying to get those things done, trying to lower some of the stress in your life, because at least I know for me, when I put something on a to-do list and it just lasts forever, it just stays in my subconscious for so long, and it just builds a little bit of stress here. Like every day, it's just a little bit more stress just nagging at me in the back of my head. So right now, when you don't have as much going on, is a great time to finish some of those to-do lists. Also, I think right now is a good time to make systems to help you. So maybe that's, like I said, I have a to-do list, I have a calendar there. And those things have helped me tremendously since I started doing that, making sure that I feel like I'm on top of things. It's kind of like the finances with your budget and stuff. If you just don't know what's going on, it only leads to more stress. So making systems and stuff that can help you maintain your to-do list and making sure that you're getting the stuff done that you need to every week is going to be really helpful, and keeping your stress levels down and just making you feel more successful and accomplished every single day, because you know that you've kept on top of things. That's going to be huge. So try to do that. And number 6, I would say, goes along with this drink, and that is just to relax. A lot of us don't relax enough, I think. Sure, there are some people who relax too much, but a lot of us don't relax enough. We just kind of are going and going, especially in the U.S., where it's just kind of like a work mentality. You're supposed to just be working as much as you can, get as little sleep as possible, get as much done. Like that's kind of the successful mindset in the country. And again, it's just something that I think hurts us. It only hurts the person who does that, because sure, you might be becoming more successful and stuff, but you're hurting your health. You're hurting probably, especially your mental state, when you don't get enough time to relax. So use this time. Take some of this time to just say, you know what, I'm just going to relax during this time and just kick my feet up and just relax, because it is going to change. It's going to change where we're going to go right back, and things are going to be busy again. So take advantage of this time right now to be able to relax and just enjoy some of the things that you can during this time where it's not so busy. So, during this time, just to go, I think this is a good time to build some sustainable habits and some systems that you can continue to use throughout the time once everything gets back to normal. This will give you less stress. I think it can give you better health. And in the end, I think you're going to feel a lot more happy if you deal with these 6 things. If you can focus on these during this time, build those habits, build those schedules, just really going to help you a lot. And like I said, life will go back to normal at some point. It's going to happen. And I think a lot of us will be kicking ourselves once it does, thinking about this time, saying, man, I'm so busy again. And sure, at first that might feel fun. Like it might feel good to get busy again. But I think it's only going to take a matter of time before you're thinking about this time, thinking, oh, I wish I would have done this or relaxed or whatever. So don't have those regrets. Just do them now. Do what you can now to make it feel like this was a time that was useful for you. and I think you'll just be a lot happier in the end, less stressed. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. I know these are things that I'm trying to focus on myself during this time, so that I can, just really better myself and make healthy habits during this time. So hopefully this was helpful, and you guys can feel like you can build some healthy habits too. So thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to like the video if you liked it, and also subscribe to my channel. I will do a Tipsy Tuesday tip every Tuesday now. So check back for that, and I do a video every day of the weekdays. Every weekday I do a video. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Every work weekday I do a video. So subscribe to my channel, and thank you guys for watching, and remember, stay cheap.
That's cheap. You still haven't subscribed? Oh my god, come on, what are you waiting for?